welcome nonsense.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're saying, again, Texas business people. There are a lot of business people in Texas who knew that you act as a bridge between Texas and Turkey, trying to be an intermediary, and that you are trying to guide them as a successful businessman. They didn't let go of your collar. They finally made sure you continue as Texas business people. A journey has begun together, a new adventure, new goals. Actually, we can say that many of the planned projects will continue to take shape some way. We'd like to hear a bit about Texas business people from you.
Texas Business People is an organization based in Texas where business people unite, led by the president as a migration initiative. It's a business association where we support each other, benefit from one another, and work together. To be honest, we can call it a club for bosses. It's an organization of business people where we support each other, benefit from one another, and produce projects together in every sense. To be honest, you can call it a club for bosses. Isn't it a beautiful union where business people can easily draw energy from each other, produce projects together, and support one another? Our consulate operates in 8 states, actually, but
Houston Consulate. No. The Houston Consulate in Texas was 8 states.
in 8 states, but Texas is a state where some Turkish investments are located. It's mainly Houston. There are some in Dallas, but Houston, especially, with the Port of Houston being one of the largest ports in the world, has our major industrial companies and big brands here. The value of just 5 of our companies is approaching $2 billion. Having them here definitely gives us a lot of strength. There are 10 direct flights from Turkey to Istanbul every week with Turkish Airlines. Also, there are 10 flights to Dallas. There are also 20 power plants just in Texas. The consulate is here. Energy is cheap. Our schools are here. We are the capital of health, agriculture, space. NASA is here. Universities are generally here. We can say that Texas is the gateway for Turkey and the Turkish business sector to America. That's why we're establishing ourselves in Texas. And there is indeed significant Turkish investment in Texas. We have a lot of cultural associations, but this is an important organization where we talk about many issues. We support each other on both with Turkey's support and with local support, giving each other strength. We said Bismillah, thank God.
Congratulations to all of us again. Now I'm going to ask a very sincere question. We always watched a lot of Hollywood when we were kids. Hollywood movies influenced us. What America looks like in our eyes is coming to life. New York has been the subject of all kinds of movies. It's coming to life in our eyes. New York has been the subject of all kinds of movies. So, what do we know about the center of the economy in America? Washington is well known. There are a lot of brand cities here. That's right. But when you say Texas, the West End comes to mind. There's also a stereotype in the minds of Turkish people. It comes from the Dallas series. It still comes to mind as a place where cowboys roam everywhere. It's just farmers and livestock. Of course, this has been greatly surpassed in today's world. The new generation is following this much more closely. Since the internet became widespread, they can research and see everything. But here's where I'm getting at. It's really interesting that Texas and Turkey have many common points. So you look at the area and you compare it. When many people come here, they say Texas is like the American Anatolia, a place where hardworking people live, where there's a more conservative segment, and where life is really easy for family living and work. We actually see a settlement that is very focused on work, far from craziness. We see a very large area. Texas is one of the 52 states, and its geographical size is almost as big as Turkey. It's also a very big economic power. It's receiving a lot of immigration. We constantly go together to some meetings and visits. Delegations coming from Turkey sometimes join us. They want to consult on certain topics, and they come for visits. We're trying to explain Texas to them very well. How do we explain it? On one hand, let those who are watching us on camera listen right now. Texas is a very nice gateway. It's true. But there are some points make this warm.
As you mentioned, our president, Mr. Ahmed Akıncı, always says this: Texas is the Anatolia of America. It really has a conservative social structure. The standard of living is very high. Life is very high quality and affordable. In terms of climate, the coastal areas are actually close to a Mediterranean climate. So, the places close to the ocean are a bit humid, like Adana, Mersin, Honda. But the interior areas, like Dallas and above, are dry. Yes. In terms of size, we're almost as big as Turkey, but the total population is 30 million. It settles all the way to Turkey. There's a messy horizontal architecture, a horizontal way of life. So it gives you a lot of freedom. This also makes it economical. Energy is really cheap. I can say that despite the high standards, it's one of the cheapest and most affordable places in America.
It's actually effective. Actually,
Affordable.
yes, that's really true.
We can say that. So, as we all know, when our Turkish people initially arrive in the United States, of course, since they aren't famous, places like Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and Chicago can be important. Rightly so, when you look from Turkey. Those are the places that come to mind. But those are touristy places. Texas is the state with the most immigrants we're from within America. Turks don't come to Texas first. They first come to Miami. They're coming to Los Angeles. They're coming to New York. Where did you come from? I came from Dushkoy. You asked us. Yes, exactly. So first, in the other states. This is actually a stepping stone for us. They will have seen those places too, but of course it's a source of energy. Our big companies don't do it this way because they do more planned research. So, by filtering it down, ultimately, this place is generally where the largest amount of Turkish investment is in the world, Texas. Houston. When we talk to our companies, when we talk to our managers and owners, and we ask them why they chose this place, they say it's because of certain factors. They say they prefer this place because of the features, energy prices, the ease of finding staff, and the living standards, local support, and resources. Honestly, on top of that, it's also a conservative, comfortable community where our Turkish people can live together. And they say they prefer this place because of the living standards, local support, and resources. Honestly, on top of that, it's also a conservative, comfortable community where our Turkish people can live together. It's very easy to do business here, and it's economical at the same time. We can buy a place very easily, and we can build our own places very easily. This is really important for the Turkish sector.
Of course, the term conservative is a bit different from the conservatism we mean in the context of Turkey. There's a significant overlap between American conservatism and ours. There are some differences. We need to understand the difference there well, of course, because it becomes adapted to this place. And there's also this situation, if there's a mistake, please correct it. They do that elimination for many films. They look at Lebanon, they check for direct flights, they look at the consulate, and sometimes they consider the staff. They will bring along from Turkey. When they complete all those checklist items regarding their family standards and living standards, they end up with one or two options, and one of them is definitely Texas. Oven, wrap. This is a very important advantage. Also, because it receives a lot of immigration, it's easier to find qualified personnel here, including people from different ethnic backgrounds who are not of Turkish descent, but have already settled in America in the skilled labor class. At the same time, minimizing your expenses. Maybe we can say that this is the deepest state where you can minimize this for us and use it effectively. That's why we can even witness that some business associations and even some officials at other consulates or embassies have invested in Texas and want to move there after a certain period. This really, this really, this really, this really, this really, this really, really, this really, really, this really, this really, this really, this really, this really, this really, this. If you create your own checklist, you could be a small startup. Just thinking about bringing your products here and selling or marketing them, or you might have plans to open a factory here as a large business. You need to start your research from Texas. After wasting a few years, we say that if you watch this video and start your research directly from here before reaching this level, you'll save 2 years.
We are actually a collaboration of established companies. We are the Businessmen's Association. And as the Businessmen's Association in America, we are the only business organization. Let me say this too. And the most important point is we only have our companies and our business people. We're just talking business. We support the increase of our country's interests and exports, and we help our business people here to be successful and to do profitable work. So, as a continuation of our previous projects, we're continuing with the projects. My friend Murat, I have an idea that is one of those projects, and you have also contributed to it. One of the most important projects I mentioned is our priority is the youth. We will first support our youth in choosing their sectors and guiding them. I have an idea. That's why it's a very important topic that we care about a lot. The main topic, the main sector in the state of Texas is this.
Yes.
We will strive, guide them towards these sectors. Space, aviation. That's one of them. Health, education, technology. All right. Here, Elon Musk is even here right now. Yes. In the university entrance process for our youth, during their time at university, we will create great opportunities by both supporting each other and fulfilling our social responsibilities. By the way, all of these are free. We're paying a lot. Text here. Our members are definitely competing to be sponsors. We can't accept money from most of them. Because there's no longer need there. Thank you. Taxes are high in America, but compared to that, Texas has really low taxes compared to other states. Despite that, we are paying taxes. When you spend the taxes you pay on these kinds of donations, charitable organizations, sponsorships, education, or religious investments and support, they can be directly deducted from your taxes with a well-known CHM address.
So, the donations you make to a charity or a foundation allow you to deduct them.
This doesn't bring any extra burden. It's a big advantage. We are competing with each other and doing good. This is actually both charity and a service to our community. So our goals are to strengthen this unity even more and definitely empower the Turkish diaspora to be able to engage in lobbying activities. Lobbying is not something we've been very good at in America so far. We have a lot of cultural associations. Overall, we are working with our local cultural associations in most of the big organizations. We will carry this out together with them. And hopefully, all together, we will create resources for lobbying activities by doing even better projects. Those lobbying activities, really very valuable. We have our living standards here. Now, in the strengthening of our country, Turkey, I'm enlightened by the protection of his rights, his structure.
Of course, what we mean by lobbying there is to correct the misconceptions that are often misunderstood. Because there are a lot of wrong manipulations and misinformation, You follow many of them from the news and the media. We are already witnessing this in some of the decisions being made. They are being misinformed and misled. We need to strengthen ourselves, come together, and carry out successful work to show what's right there. Here, we need to provide quality services and run successful key businesses so that we can be taken seriously at the same time.
We said our priority is the youth. Our young people have really come here for education, and the children of our expatriates here are above all of us. Our children are growing up here. These are your very precious treasures. So this is the topic where we need to work hard and make a tour of the association. We need to carry these along with us. The Business People's Association is honestly a place where all our businessmen feel comfortable. Thank goodness most of them are really diligent. Many of us don't need this kind of organization.
This is a volunteer movement.
Indeed, that's right. Our sectors are gradually forming and steadily. Let's see it in a positive light. We will start working very soon, in a very short time. God willing, we will have our first meeting with the Great Registration in January. We will do our registration in February. We'll make our big announcement in March. We will have our biggest meeting together then. Hopefully, every year. After that, I wanted to implement the good news for the youth in all our projects moving forward.
When we talk about the youth, there might be some who want to spread the word to each other. There is a venture capital that you are part of and that you are also a founder of. The purpose here is to create a certain fund. The youth have some really great ideas. It's really a shame for some people. They just get wasted due to lack of opportunities. There are those who are very talented, very well-intentioned, and have projects that could be successful. They will all be supported with investments in certain amounts during their startup phase, early stage, and management stages. And here, we will support the growth of those beautiful startups by partnering with them. We will work together with the youth.
Right now, we have started a couple of projects. You can talk about them.
One of them is a very successful initiative from some of our young people in the Konya-Karaman region about their relationships to artificial intelligence. I'm not sure whether to give you the details or not, but at least let me share this with you. By accelerating some fault detections in the energy sector with artificial intelligence, they enable them to save both time and money very quickly. There is a perfect software program. We have the opportunity to invest together with them as a gateway to the world. We also have an initiative to help young people who want to come here to language schools but are unable to reach a point where they can successfully work with professional, real universities. In San Antonio, there's a project aimed at young people who want to come to language schools here, explore the area, and then transition to other universities through that language school, in partnership with a university in the Texas region. Both of these came as startups, as projects, and both were approved, so they both started this way.
We're currently working on it. Of course, technology, education, and young people are our priorities, and we will always continue to be that way. As we mentioned, on a voluntary basis, we have our Houston-based initiatives, just like we have a Turkey in New York and a Dianet complex in DC, with a beautiful hall that serves us well. We really need a very important and significant cultural center in the city of Houston, which is a cultural center.
As business people, I hope to know your dreams for this advancing cultural arts center. Let this be recorded in this video, as you said. When that day comes, let's hope we can have a flashback and remember this in the meantime.
Because our proposal to come together actually started around these ideas. How can we do these? I would really love to do it on my own. I want to do something for the good of my dad and mom. If everyone here talks with their people, you might say, I want to do this too. Let's stick to these dreams and make it happen together. This is one of the easiest things to do in the world. I mean, this is truly one of the easiest things to do in the world. If we don't do this, we'll leave with our eyes wide open, let me tell you. So we have to do this. We must be able to achieve this. At the very least, we need to show the will to chase this hope and come together. This is my promise, our youth.
Great. Thank you. Let's say we've come to the end of your time. Let's not drag this out too much. Let's wrap up today's video like this. In another video, we will be with you with new explanations and guests. Today's guest in Tuesday Talks was Selçuk Kaya. Thank you for joining us. See you again. Goodbye.